Yeah. So I started with the evidence, and it's pretty much 50% or 60% the work from the higher level, I'd say, because because I'm also reflecting this framework as my part as researcher or analyst in this sense. Um, so really getting down to specifics, like we have on like I use the SPARC framework, and then I sort of like gather as much as I can through literature review and desk review um, on the specific side of things, and also yeah, the evidence, the international evidence and the local evidence, and then when I have enough materials to sort of like to wrap my head around it, and then I start to and then I started knocking doors. So I schedule interview. I'm going to have one interview this Friday with academics, for example. Um, but then the larger part of applying the Spark framework is desk review, and so that I have this large understanding about not only what has been happening around the world, but also in Indonesia in specific. And then when I talk to policymakers, and they, I started to arrange an interview and then share questions, and then it becomes a two-way discussion. Um, so that's what the two-way discussion means, that not only that I share what I know, and then what Spark framework tells or suggests us to do, the way forward in strategic purchasing, but also assessing each of their understanding about strategic purchasing itself. Because when you're talking to a plethora or wide ranging of stakeholders, the understanding of strategic purchasing from one to another differs, even when there are from the same institution. So for example, in MOH, we have the very technical person and then the very field person. The very technical person, I mean the one who, makes the slide for the minister, the one who is, has this all understanding about the all in the indicators, how they make them. But then we within the same institution, we also have people who is in the field, who is talking to providers, who is sitting in this local health authority meetings and stuff. And those two within the same institution can have a very different understanding about strategic purchasing. And the interview is kind of like two ways of that. So not only that I share, but also they share, and then we as part of a regional network, or as me as a this system researcher, I get to know both of those things. And then when I collected all the interview, one thing that we did is to store it into some kind of registry that can be accessed for everyone, so that we know exactly what is in the field right now in Indonesia, and also it helps us in formulate what's the way forward